Okay, good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Ayodele. I am a first year law and politics student at the University of Kent, and I'll be talking about the effects of ChatGPT on law students' perception. Firstly, what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT orchestrates human-like expression by generating human-like language and language translation. ChatGPT is specifically designed to generate human-like text after learning patterns and nuances of human language, allowing it to therefore perform various language-based tasks, such as creating documents and conversing like a human. We are at a time where students are left to their own devices, and I mean this figuratively and literally. So ChatGPT could be depicted as a way to democratize learning. Ironically, this discussion could have been written using artificial intelligence. So do you think this would impact the way you take in this information? And how would you therefore apply this to the way that you study? Firstly, we should questions that we should ask ourselves using artificial intelligence should include how should and how can AI more broadly and ChatGPT be implemented using ethical ways? Firstly, you could outline a question, brainstorm ideas for the question, defining keywords, phrases, and methods, and maybe referencing. I will be discussing the ways referencing can be used in ethical ways later on in the presentation. So, students are mostly concerned about how to be studious and obviously get the most out of our studying and education. Artificial intelligence is certainly not subjected to no limitations. Studying should be a very studious activity and obviously not passive to get the most out of your personalized experience. Using ChatGPT idly is definitely not impactful for a learning experience, and I believe it would be rather wasteful of a digital one. This is obviously because of the absence of critical thought. The absence of this critical thinking will therefore be of detriment to how we learn, therefore subjecting ourselves to the ethical dilemmas and endangering how we as students come to learn as artificial intelligence continues to grow in our society. But the best ways to generate knowledge from ChatGPT is to give it very specified prompts. Learning how to write the right prompts will get you a lot more out of this personalized experience. It's not just about asking a question and seeing what spurges out. You actually have to have a dialogue with ChatGPT so that you could put yourself in a position of being a student. You could get ChatGPT to give you some feedback so that it could modify its parameters so that the next time it generates something for you, it's a little bit closer to what you want. This once again um, comes under the notion of getting a personalized experience with ChatGPT and making your learning and your studying more accurate and tailoring it to your own liking. Everyone has different learning styles, and ChatGPT is the best time to explore these different learning styles. This can be in the form of creating flashcards, tables, personalized study guides, which you can use to tailor to your own liking. All of these concepts and all of these ways and ideas come under the term of studying smart and not hard. This is something that students are really, really into nowadays, so that we aren't really putting a lot of time and effort into studying, but instead of making it more efficient. We need to leverage the power of artificial intelligence, and this can be done by learning how to write prompts on ChatGPT. All of this comes from understanding. We need to ask ChatGPT to give us an understanding and or debriefing of a specific thing at a university or secondary school level so that we can make it more feasible for ourselves and so that we understand, as we all know, that learning derives from understanding. Using ChatGPT appropriately comes from synthesizing that concepts that you are struggling with and describing that back into your own words. Once again, this notion of having a personalized learning experience. I would obviously advise you to actually write this down so that it's actually multiple times so that it's embedded into your long-term memory when you have an exam or a test. This is an example of how this can be done following the example of easements in property law. So ChatGPT gave a very general definition of what easements are. An easement is a legal right that allows someone to use your property in a specific way. Then you could ask ChatGPT to explain easements to me like a dummy, and it gives you an example, and it says it's like sharing your toys with a friend only for a little while and for a specific purpose. I personally think that's a really good example. So you have to go through your outline and have this interactive conversation with ChatGPT, and anything you do not understand, like I said, synthesize it, put into your own words. It's important to engage with artificial intelligence and to engage to understand, not just to memorize. So using active recall. Now, you could also get ChatGPT to quiz you. Remember that you are the student, so you obviously need to take initiative for this in this experience because it is personalized to you. You tailor it to your own liking. Okay, student life today. We live in an era where information is readily accessible and at the disposal for everyone. Information is seen as a commodity. We are often overwhelmed with an overload of information that we see in social media, and now that we have the introduction of ChatGPT, Notion AI, it's more present everywhere. So we need to get comfortable with artificial intelligence. However, obviously not too comfortable because this will have ramifications in general and legal ramifications when studying law. We are interdependent individuals, but let's not be blinded by this interdependency. So these are the ways that law students can use ChatGPT. This can be done by summarizing and analyzing legal cases and statutes, researching and citing relevant legal authorities, providing explanations of legal concepts and terminology, assisting with legal writing and editing, helping to prepare for exams by providing practice questions and answers. All of this can be done obviously to your own liking because once again, this is a personalized learning experience using artificial intelligence. ChatGPT should most certainly be used as a tool, not a substitute or replacement for legal expertise or critical thinking. We as humans should not go into an instant regression with artificial intelligence. We need to use it in a very strategic way. It should enhance and cultivate the way that we think and broaden, like just be accessible, to be honest. And we need to use it for advice and clarification. We obviously do not know how ChatGPT has arrived, so to ensure accuracy, validity, and reliability, we must be cross-checking ChatGPT's response each time, especially with referencing. We need to be mindful of the way we do referencing, especially in law. We have a scholar referencing, which is kind of hard to find examples of, so we need to be, cross-checking. Next slide. In conclusion, as a student, it is imperative that we focus on what differentiates us with artificial intelligence, especially when looking for employment. So skills that artificial intelligence just can't replicate. That needs to be a really big emphasis when talking about ChatGPT, because I know that's a lot of students worry about that. We need to be mindful with and that can be linked to critical thought. So once again, this is a massive emphasis on how we can embed critical thought into our studying and exams and essays and coursework. We still need to be mindful with the limitations that we encounter with ChatGPT. As it has proven, it has the tendency to perpetuate untrue, biased, or potentially harmful answers, depending on the question it is asked and depending on the data that it is trained on. Law has many different jurisdictions, so once again we need to be making sure that it's fitting the right thing. We're not just copy and pasting blindly. We need to be once again going above and beyond what ChatGPT has given us, and OpenAI as well, Notion. This is a bit of research done. AI scientists working towards the goal of artificial intelligence that has the ability to learn and act like humans contended that in order to achieve this, their models must be trained on ginormous accumulations of data. The issue here is that large uncurated data sets scrapped on the internet are full of biased data, like I said, that informs these models. So once again, cross-checking every single thing that you come across with ChatGPT is fundamental in enhancing your own learning experience. Ultimately, artificial intelligence will continue to learn faster and learn from itself. So we as students should too. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And I guess I'd like to start today just by saying a huge thank you to Jennifer because we have had quite a few technical difficulties with kind of getting Jennifer to this stage, and Jennifer has been very patient, persisting with us to be able to be here today. So I'd just like to say a big thank you there. I do have quite a few questions, but given that we're kind of quite short on time, I'm just going to ask a couple if that's okay. And I think there are probably a few in the Q&A. So if you could maybe have a look afterwards. The first one, you've obviously done a lot of kind of research into ChatGPT and AI already, which is really great to see. And it's really nice to know that you've mentioned how you fact check everything. I was just wondering, where is it you fact check it with? Do you have any go-to resources, or is it different depending on different prompts or questions that you're asking?
I actually use I use The Guardian, a lot of newspaper articles, and I use TikTok as well because I feel like that's a massive platform where students are able to give their advice on what's it called again, topics like this, and it's very like informal as well. It's not very formal, so I think TikTok is like one of the best ways to get research like this as well.
There's certainly a lot of videos on there. Yeah, I've seen so many of them. Thank you so much, Jennifer. It's been another great talk, so thank you.
Thank you.